Last Tuesday, I was visiting my great-granddaughter Emma for her 7th birthday. Such a beautiful child, full of questions and wonder. As I was helping her build a block tower in the living room, she suddenly looked up at me with those innocent, brown eyes and asked, "Grandpa Doc, why are your eyes always so red and tired? Don't you ever sleep?" The room went quiet. My daughter-in-law nearly dropped the cake she was carrying, but you know what? Emma was right. I hadn't slept properly in months, maybe years. And sometimes it takes the brutal honesty of a child to make us face what we've been denying. I wonder, do you see that same tired face looking back at you in the mirror each morning? Those heavy eyes that tell the story of another restless night, another night of tossing and turning, watching the clock tick from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Another day ahead where you'll struggle to find the energy to do the things you once loved. Music shifts slightly. I'm Dr. Harold Weinstein. I've been practicing medicine for over 65 years now. I'm 91 years old. Yes, I still see patients 3 days a week, and I've specialized in geriatric medicine for the last 4 decades. But more importantly, I'm also experiencing the same journey of aging that you are. The same challenges, the same frustrations when doctors half my age tell me that poor sleep is just part of getting older. I refuse to accept that answer. And you shouldn't either. You see, in all my years of medicine, I've noticed something troubling. When younger folks can't sleep, doctors rush to help them. But when we older folks mention sleep problems, we're often given a patronizing smile and told to expect these things at your age. As if good sleep is a luxury we should no longer expect, as if restful nights are only for the young. Let me tell you about my patient Martha. She's 83, a retired school teacher. Martha came to me in tears last year. She hadn't slept more than 3 hours a night for months. Her doctor had told her it was normal aging and offered her sleeping pills that left her groggy and disoriented. Her family had started excluding her from afternoon gatherings because she would doze off mid-conversation, then be awake all night. "I feel like I'm disappearing," she told me, "like I'm becoming a ghost in my own life." Or take William, 77, who lost his wife 2 years ago. His sleepless nights became so severe that his daughter wanted him to move into assisted living, not because he couldn't take care of himself, but because she was worried about his wandering around the house all night. "I'm losing my independence," he said, "all because I can't sleep." I understand this frustration personally. After my wife passed, my own sleep fell apart. I'd lay awake, mind racing, body exhausted, but somehow unable to drift off. I'd watch TV until 2 a.m., then doze fitfully until dawn. Morning would come and I'd feel foggy, irritable. My grandchildren would visit, and I'd be too tired to truly engage with them, too exhausted to be fully present. Is this sounding familiar to you? Music transitions. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. What's happening isn't your fault. And, contrary to popular belief, severe sleep problems are not an inevitable part of aging. The truth is, our sleep architecture does change as we age. We produce less melatonin naturally, and we experience fewer deep sleep cycles. But that doesn't mean we're destined to suffer with chronic insomnia or poor sleep quality. What's really happening involves a complex interaction between our nervous system, certain brain chemicals, and something called glycogen storage, which most doctors never discuss with their older patients. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating our nervous system's transition from daytime alertness to nighttime rest. Our fight-or-flight response, which kept us safe in our younger years, can get stuck in the on position, flooding our system with cortisol and adrenaline precisely when we need to be calming down. Additionally, our brain's ability to store glycogen, the emergency energy reserve that fuels our brain during sleep, becomes compromised. Without adequate glycogen stores, our brain essentially wakes up in the middle of the night looking for fuel, disrupting our sleep cycles. But here's the good news that changed everything for me, for Martha, for William, and for hundreds of my patients. There's a simple solution that works with our aging biology rather than fighting against it. Music shifts to more hopeful tone. What I'm about to share with you isn't some expensive medication. It's not a complicated procedure. It's a simple, natural protocol I've refined over decades of practice, something you can do in your own home tonight, using ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen. This approach has helped 89% of my elderly patients improve their sleep quality within just 1 week. Many report falling asleep within 10 minutes of laying down. And the best part? No side effects, no morning grogginess, no dependency concerns. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do, step by step. I'll explain the science in simple terms, so you'll understand exactly why this works so well for older adults specifically. But first, I need you to know something important. This isn't about tricking your body into sleep. This is about restoring your body's natural sleep mechanisms, the ones that have been disrupted by decades of modern living, stress, medications, and environmental factors. Music builds slightly. The protocol centers around combining raw honey with a specific natural ingredient that activates what scientists call the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode. Together, these two substances create a powerful synergy that prepares your brain and body for deep, restorative sleep. Let me walk you through the exact steps. I call this the Golden Slumber Protocol, and it consists of 3 simple parts that work together to reset your sleep cycle. Music softens. Step 1. Prepare the golden mixture. 2 hours before bedtime, mix 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered honey with 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt in a small glass bowl. The honey must be raw, not the processed kind in the bear-shaped container. Raw honey contains natural compounds called polyphenols that help your brain utilize sugar properly during sleep. Now here's where most people go wrong. They use regular table salt. That won't work. You need pink Himalayan salt specifically because it contains 84 trace minerals, including magnesium, which is nature's relaxant. Regular table salt has been stripped of these critical minerals. Stir gently until the salt is fully dissolved. This might take a minute or 2. If you have arthritis in your hands like I do, here's a little tip. Use the back of a wooden spoon to press the salt crystals against the side of the bowl. Or ask a loved one to help prepare this mixture for several nights at once. It stays good in a sealed jar for up to a week. The science behind this mixture is fascinating. The glucose in honey fuels your liver to produce glycogen, which your brain needs to function during sleep. Without adequate glycogen, your brain will wake you up looking for fuel, often around 3 a.m., which might sound familiar to many of you. The salt helps transport the glucose and supports proper electrical signaling in the brain. Together, they provide the perfect nutritional support for your brain during the night. Step 2. The parasympathetic activation ritual. 1 hour before bed, turn off all screens, TVs, phones, computers. The blue light from these devices blocks melatonin production, which is already reduced as we age. Now, add 1/4 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract to your honey salt mixture and consume it slowly, letting it dissolve on your tongue rather than gulping it down. Why vanilla extract? Research shows that vanillin, the active compound in vanilla, activates parasympathetic nervous system receptors in the mouth and throat, signaling your body to enter rest and digest mode. For those who find the taste too strong, you can mix the final solution with 3 tablespoons of chamomile tea. But remember, no caffeine and no hot liquids. Warm is fine, but hot temperatures destroy the enzymes in raw honey that make this solution effective. After consuming the mixture, spend 15 minutes doing what I call gratitude breathing. Sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor. Place 1 hand on your belly, breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly expand. Hold for 1 second, then exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. While doing this, think of 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Many of my patients find it helpful to keep a gratitude journal by their chair. If you have arthritis that makes writing difficult, just speaking your gratitudes aloud works wonderfully too. This breathing technique reduces cortisol, our stress hormone, by up to 23% in just 15 minutes, according to research from Harvard Medical School. It's particularly effective for older adults because it directly counters the nervous system dysregulation that comes with aging. Step 3. The thermal regulation method. This final step addresses something few doctors discuss: the temperature regulation challenges that come with aging. Our bodies naturally cool down to initiate sleep, but this mechanism becomes less efficient in our later years. 30 minutes. Before bed, take a warm, not hot foot bath. Add a handful of Epsom salts if you have them. Soak your feet for 10-15 minutes. Why just the feet? Because warming your extremities causes blood vessels to dilate, which then helps release heat from your core, essentially jump-starting your body's natural cooling process that triggers sleep. For those with mobility issues who can't manage a foot bath, an alternative is to wear socks to bed but remove them once you're under the covers. Strange as it sounds, this creates the same thermal shift that signals your brain it's time for sleep. After your foot bath, go to your bedroom, which should be slightly cool, between 65-68 degrees if possible. If keeping your home that cool is too expensive, focus on just cooling your bedroom. A simple fan can help tremendously. Now here's a tip most sleep experts miss. Place a small glass of water by your bedside with the final teaspoon of your honey salt vanilla mixture next to it. If you wake during the night, take a small sip of water first, then consume the remaining mixture. This provides a glycogen boost exactly when most older adults experience their sleep-disrupting blood sugar drop. Music shifts. Let me tell you about Martha again. Remember the retired teacher who felt like she was becoming a ghost in her own life? After 3 days of following this protocol, she slept 5 hours straight, the longest stretch in years. By the end of 2 weeks, she was regularly sleeping 7 to 8 hours per night. The change wasn't just in my sleep, she told me during her follow-up visit. It's in how I live now. Her family noticed she was more present, more engaged. Her daughter commented that she seemed like herself again. Martha has since rejoined her book club and started volunteering at her local library, activities she had abandoned when exhaustion took over her life. Then there's William, who was at risk of losing his independence due to his nighttime wandering. Within 10 days of starting the Golden Slumber Protocol, his night wandering stopped completely. "I actually look forward to bedtime now," he told me. "For the first time since my wife passed, I feel rested." His daughter no longer worries about moving him to assisted living, and they've started having weekly family dinners again, something William now has the energy to enjoy. Another patient, Eleanor, age 79, had been on prescription sleep medication for 15 years. "I was addicted," she admits freely, "but I was terrified of the alternatives." Working with her primary doctor, we slowly weaned her off the medication while implementing the Golden Slumber Protocol. The transition wasn't instant, but after 1 month, she was medication-free and sleeping naturally for the first time in over a decade. "I had forgotten what it feels like to wake up naturally," she told me, "to feel rested rather than drugged. My grandchildren say I laugh more now. Music becomes warmer, more emotional. I share these stories because I want you to understand. This isn't just about getting more hours of sleep. This is about reclaiming your life, about being present for the moments that matter, about having the energy to be the person you still are inside, despite the years that have passed." After my experience with young Emma, her innocent question about my tired eyes, I committed fully to my own protocol. I had been helping patients with it for years, but somehow hadn't fully embraced it myself. Perhaps doctors make the worst patients after all, but that night I went home and followed each step exactly as I've outlined for you. The first night I slept 5 hours continuously. Miracle for me at that time. By the end of the week, I was sleeping nearly 7 hours and waking naturally, without an alarm. 2 weeks later, when Emma came to visit again, she climbed up next to me on the sofa and said, "Grandpa Doc, your eyes aren't red anymore. Did you fix them?" I hugged her and said, "Yes, sweetheart, I fixed them." Sometimes even doctors need reminders to take care of themselves. That's why I'm sharing this with you today. Because you deserve better than to be told that poor sleep is just part of getting older. You deserve more than a prescription that leaves you feeling hungover every morning. You deserve to wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to embrace each day. It's never too late to reclaim your sleep. Never too late to feel rested again. Never too late to be fully present in your life. Try the Golden Slumber Protocol for just 7 days. Notice how different you feel. Notice how others respond to you. Notice how much more life there is to be. Lived when you're not exhausted. Your family will see the difference, but more importantly, you will feel the difference. Before I go, let me remind you of the 3 simple steps. 2 hours before bed, prepare 1 tablespoon of raw honey with 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. 1 hour before bed, add 1/4 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Consume slowly while practicing 15 minutes of gratitude breathing, 30 minutes before bed. Take a warm foot bath, then retire to a cool bedroom. Keep the remaining mixture by your bedside for any nighttime wakings. That's it. No complicated regimens, no expensive equipment, just simple natural ingredients working with your body's own wisdom to restore what time and modern living have disrupted. Sleep well, my friends. You deserve it. Music gently fades. If you found this information helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel. We release new videos every week on natural approaches to the challenges of aging. And if you know someone else who struggles with sleep, perhaps a friend or family member, please share this video with them. Knowledge is meant to be shared, especially when it can improve someone's quality of life. Thank you for your time today. Until next week, this is Dr. Harold Weinstein, wishing you sweet dreams and peaceful nights.